For some, shock might be an understatement. And most are left wondering, how on earth did this even happen? How did we get here? Is there something wrong with me? Is there something wrong with us, with our relationship? But it's important for you to note that being in a dead bedroom is unfortunately not uncommon. And many couples face challenges related to sexual intimacy and satisfaction in relationships. So in this video, I'm gonna share with you guys a few different ways that you can hopefully spark up that fire in your relationship again and get your sex life going. May it be weeks, months, or even years. And I know you're here because you want to make the change. So what exactly is a dead bedroom? Well, a dead bedroom is a term that we use to describe a romantic relationship that has significantly dropped in sexual intimacy, whether that's significantly diminished over a period of time or has actually become completely non-existent. Well, to point out the obvious, sex is normally extremely important in relationship. It can help us feel loved, connected, and chosen by our partner. And oftentimes, it's what separates us from the platonic relationships. So one of the key things that we need to do to break a dead bedroom, or I actually like to refer to the dead bedroom as more of a dry spell, because when we say dead, there's literally no coming back from the dead. And that is not true in this case at all. So I want you guys to think of this as more of a dry spell. So to break that dry spell, we need to start dating each other again. We need to start opening up to our partner and communicating about our sex and our pleasures. And to be honest, a great tool to use is Beducated. Now, if you're already subscribed to my channel, you know how much I love Beducated. And if you haven't subscribed yet, make sure you click down below and, give it a thumbs up too while you're there. But I currently still use Beducated. And for those of you that don't know, it's a sex education platform that is created by the world's top experts, giving you a huge variety of knowledge ranging from self-pleasures all the way to kink. One of my favorite things about Beducated is how they educate you. The video tutorials, the practical exercises, and the reliable information. And seeing as it's February, and February is the month of love, and of course, Valentine's Day, I think it's a great time to learn how to set the tone for the rest of the year and learn to make date night sizzle again. Now that goes for everybody. So whether you're sharing this time with a loved one or maybe you're dating yourself, I want you to think about those steamy massages or perhaps that toe curling oral, all of those bedroom escapades. With Beducated, you have over 100 different courses. So every date night can be hotter than the last. Right now, I'm in the middle of taking a course on the roadmap to intimacy, where it dives deeply into emotional, physical, sensual, and sexual intimacy. And I think this would be a really great start for all of you who are watching this to go and check out this exact course. Now, there is courses on literally everything, but if you are struggling with a dead bedroom, the roadmap to intimacy is a great place to start. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna offer you guys 24 hours of free access into the website so that you guys can check out the courses that Beducated has to offer. And when you can't get enough and realize you can't cram it all into just 24 hours, you guys are gonna use the code PleasureBaby for 50% off the whole year. Don't worry, you guys are not trapped. There is a 14-day money-back guarantee, meaning if you go into the site and you don't like it, then that's okay. You can get all of your money back. And honestly, guys, there is endless amounts of learning to be done. I mean, hey, look at me. I am a sex therapist and I am still constantly learning about new tips, new techniques, and new ways to build that intimacy. So if you're wanting to hop out of that dead bedroom or pick up your flat sex life again, this is the best investment you can make in your relationship, besides relationship therapy, which I think all of us would benefit from. But let's dive back into why the dead bedroom might be happening. Now, this shouldn't come as a surprise, but you did not just wake up in this dead bedroom overnight. There are several different factors that can contribute to the development of a dead bedroom, with the number one issue being communication. I've said it before and I will say it again. Communication is lubrication. The second one being relationship problems. There are underlying relationship conflicts. Emotional distance can spill all over the bedroom, obviously affecting sexual intimacy. The third one is also the difference in libido. The fourth factor being stress and life changes. The fifth common factor is health issues, whether it's physical or mental health, chronic pain, chronic conditions, side effects from medications. All of these things can affect sexual desire and function. The sixth one is going to be routine and monotony. The next common factor is a negative past experience. experiences, whether it be previous trauma, abuse, negative sexual encounters, and all of these can play a huge role in the ability for somebody to want to even engage in sexual activity at all. And number 8, the last common factor, age and hormonal changes. Now the question you guys have all been waiting for, how exactly am I supposed to wake up this dead bedroom? The first step to fixing a sexless relationship is always going to be the same thing, and it's to take a stand. You are no longer accepting this normal in your relationship. You are committing to whatever it takes to fix it. Now I know it can be comfortable and easy to sit in our own misery and just let the months, the days, and the years roll by, and to tell yourself that this is just how it's gonna be from now on. But research shows consistently the exact same thing. Satisfying sexual connections make relationships happier, stronger, and healthier. It is okay for you to want more sexual connection. Sex is an important, healthy part of a relationship, and it is absolutely something worth fighting for. And I also want you to consider that there is nothing wrong with you, and there is nothing wrong with your partner either. Maybe there's something going on with their desire that they don't even quite understand themselves yet. And despite how it might feel, it's pretty rare that somebody would be doing this on purpose or to hurt you. It's essential to be compassionate and understanding towards the challenges that you guys are facing. And it's just as important for you to draw the line in the sand for the relationship, for the sex that you want, and to commit to doing whatever is necessary. The second one is to embrace the imbalance in desire. I'm telling you right now that every relationship that you walk into, you are going to experience some sort of desire imbalance. One person is always going to be experiencing more of a spontaneous desire. Of course, you can try and fight against this and try to change each other. As you probably already noticed, this tends to lead to arguments, more resentment, and much less sex. But the good news is that the desire imbalance actually doesn't have to be a problem. Your goal isn't to fix the desire imbalance, it's actually learning how to work with it. So what exactly do I mean when I say spontaneous desire? That leads us to number 3. Learn your desire style. Spontaneous desire is exactly how it sounds. It's desire that happens spontaneously, almost effortlessly, and out of nowhere. Maybe a sexy thought floats through your mind, or your partner shows up and they're wearing something extra juicy and they look fantastic, and you think to yourself, hey, I want to have sex right now. That is spontaneous desire. 85% of men and 25% of women experience this spontaneous desire. So as you guys can see, the stats are showing that lots of men think this way. All that this means is that remaining amount actually experience desire in a different way. And society has told us that sex only happens when it's spontaneous, and it always is supposed to be this way, and you're just supposed to get these thoughts throughout the day. And then we're left here waiting for our body to give us the cue like, hey, I'm ready to smash right now. But that's not really how it works. And if you're waiting, it's gonna be a really long time for you to feel that. But let's talk about responsive desire. Responsive desire is much less like spontaneous, where spontaneous is more of that lightning bolt, and responsive desire is more like that slow burn. Someone like myself, who actually is more responsive, we need to feel aroused and turned on before we actually feel that desire. Don't get me wrong, I can be spontaneous sometimes, but for the majority, I'm actually responsive. You need to feel those pleasurable, tingly sensations before you actually feel the desire for more. Much more women actually have the responsive desire. And honestly, this should be just a video on its own. The fourth one is I want you to stop hitting the brakes. Activating your sexual desire actually requires much more than just activating your turn-ons, or what we like to call the accelerators, because there is also a counterforce working against your accelerators, and these are called your sexual brakes. These are much more than just your turn-offs. These are all the things in your inner and outer world telling you that now is not a good time for you to be turned on. So things like body image, low self-esteem, performance anxiety, chronic or unresolved relationship conflict, concerns about pregnancies or STIs, social consequences like waking up the kids, lack of safety or trust in the relationship, and the most common one being stress. Now, if the brakes are on big time, none of that is your fault and none of that is their fault either. But unless you know how to turn off those sexual brakes, your sex life is going to suffer. Because in the majority of dead bedroom situation, it all boils down to one thing. There's something hitting the brakes on either your desire or your partner's desire, or both. This means that all of the sexy turn-ons in the world compiled all in one place are still not gonna do it. So your number one mission is to work out what those brakes are. The fifth one is to rebuild that emotional intimacy. Honestly, a really great place to start with rebuilding your emotional intimacy would be that Roadmaps to Intimacy in the Beducated course that I was just talking about. That is literally the chapter that I just finished and I learned so much from it. And I'm sorry to break it to you, if you lack emotional intimacy, chances are you're also gonna lack sexual intimacy. Now, one thing that I do want to point out is that it is really important that when we are trying to make that emotional intimacy, we are doing it out of a genuine place. Meaning you're not just trying to do this to get sex. When we start to rebuild that emotional intimacy, it leads us to number 6. Clearing the resentment. If you've been in a sexless relationship for a period of time, chances are there is built up resentment. And it's most likely unresolved resentment between the both of you. If you guys feel like you might struggle to do this with just each other, you can hire a coach, you can hire a therapist, somebody to sit in the room and help kind of navigate these nitty-gritty parts in the relationship. And honestly, I think a lot of people could benefit from that. The 7th way to break this dead bedroom is to actually increase the amount of physical affection. One of the most heartbreaking side effects of a dead bedroom is the lack of physical connection that there is. There's less kissing, there's less cuddling, there's less hand holding and less everyday touch with one another. It can create an extreme disconnection from each other and make you feel really lonely. I want you to start adding more touch into the relationship. And that means affection with absolutely no agenda and no expectation that is gonna lead you somewhere. Then that opens up the door to genuine affectionate touch. This is a crucial step in fixing that dead bedroom. It helps clear that residual resentment and builds positive momentum to set you up for a more collaborative alliance. Honestly, there is so many more tips that I could give to you in this video, but I'm gonna cap it there for today because I probably realized that I lost half my audience. But for now, don't forget to check out Beducated. Make sure you subscribe to my channel, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to head over to my socials to follow so you never miss a beat. All right, babies, I hope this helped you out, and I hope you have a better understanding on how to fix that dead bedroom. Cheers.